What up guys, Otterpop here, and welcome to a game called the Stanley Parable. So I've actually heard of this game. I knew that it was semi-popular like years ago in like early 2010s or something like that, and it just kind of came up in my feed about, being free for a short time, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time I kind of diverge every once in a while. Okay, that computer is like perfectly... Okay, that's already a little bit weird. But no, the description of the game is actually kind of what got me a little bit curious. Like, you're playing as Stanley, and you're not as Stanley, and there's an end that there's not an end, or something like that. Even down here, the end is never the end. Like, it sounded a bit... weird. Like, how would I even explain it? I honestly don't even know how one would explain it. I feel like there's a way that I'm trying to explain this, but I can't think of exactly how to explain it. So, let's just load and wait. Wait and look. I can't English right now. I really can't.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Why am I getting
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I don't know why I'm getting Truman vibes from like the Truman Show. I'm hoping the quality of this game is alright, because apparently my computer's processor isn't necessarily strong enough for even the minimum requirements.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I really do need to, at some point, find a better computer, but unfortunately I don't really have the ability to right now. If anybody has any... Can I? Okay, I don't even know what the controls are except moving and looking around. Does anybody have any recommendations for possible computers? Because again, I am looking into that. I'm not sure. No, I think I just came from this way. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if anybody's got any recommendations... Wait. What? I think I just confused myself.
When
Okay.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What? Wait, what? Why do I have to? Is this a future Okay. Oh, okay then. Can't go back, I guess. Ooh, it's a pretty picture. I like. But yeah, if anybody has any computer recommendations, please, feel free to let me know.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Huh.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on another coworker. What? Whoa. Wait. What? Did that just... Is that supposed to change on its own? Oh, look at that. I don't produce a shadow. Number of slides on the slide. Slide, charts, charts. Really? To do. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market parade. Parade? What? Parade. Okay. Monetize free to play. What? What? What was that? That was a little mishmash of charts and... Okay. This is a bit odd.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Again, do I have to? I feel like I don't... I'll play along for now. Ooh, whoa. This is a room. Or hallway. Floor, area, place.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
No.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. What? He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What? Oh! What in the heck? What? What in the heck is going on? This is mildly bizarre. Okay. I'm confuzzled. Is anybody else? Maybe not, because I'm sure plenty of you have seen already plenty of playthroughs of this game already. What? No, stop.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. I cannot see a thing. I literally cannot see a thing. What is happening? Oh! There we go. Hold up. Can I adjust the brightness at all? Advanced. Effect. Oh. Crap. Okay, hold the phone. Okay, there we go. Hold up. Now I gotta restart this. Hold on. What the?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What? Bitch, no! No. No mind control.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
What? I'm so confused. I'm going for it.
Still on board with death?
Yes.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What did I just do? I have the foggiest idea.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Did I just...
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What just happened?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Huh? What? The blueprint, this blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Corridor. Pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. What? Two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, exploration of the contradiction this room posed. What? Filing cabinets? Office computers. Oh, someone decided to play solitaire. Can I play solitaire? Oh, that's... what? Oops. What's this? Like database. And what's this? Somebody looking at a document of some kind. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Oh. Huh. The office. Credits. The frick? 430, 130. Maintenance room? An early version of the maintenance room. So wait, what's on this side then? I am seriously so confuzzled right now. Did I already F up this early in the game? Boss's office. Office clock? Freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. What the actual frock just happened? What?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
What?
No, perhaps not.
What?
Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Huh?
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
What?
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
What? Huh? What just happened? Here I am back. Oh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay, that's brilliant. That was actually kind of clever.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Oh, that was actually kind of, that was pretty good.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I guess I'm going to this mind control facility place. What the heck even is this?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Who knows? I've already
died. Did he have the strength to find out?
Who knows? I've already died, so there can't be anything worse. Oh, died. Oh. Cameras?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each
Whoa.
bore the number of an employee in the building.
Holy
Stanley's co-workers.
moly.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What the? Surely freedom is nothing. I mean, I think. It looks like a bathroom
This
sign.
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Fire.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No. He
What?
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
No.
His own life in someone else's control? Never.
No.
It was
Never.
unthinkable.
Unthinkable.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
No, you can't believe that. No matter what happens, you can't believe that. Your life is your own life.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content.
The frick?
Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
All these mind controls things are offline or whoa. Yeah. This way? Wait. This way? It's really hard to see. I wish the brightness could go higher. Facility power. Mind controls idle awaiting input. The frick-a-frock.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Sure?
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are sent to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll
What?
tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? One solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Huh? Every time I go against what he's telling me, I fuck up. What the hell? I'm so mind-fucked and shocked right now that I don't even know like how to fully explain. I will definitely be playing this again, but holy crap. Oh, what just happened? What literally just happened? I'm gonna take a moment to process. I'm gonna take many moments to process. I'm not sure if I'm glad if I started this game or not, but I will definitely be doing it again, and maybe I'll do it right next time. I'm right, because I'm pretty sure I just made 2 wrong moves, or wrong choices, and ended up at bad endings, or endings, which aren't actually endings. The whole description of this is the end, and this is also not the end, makes sense now, even the loading screen. The end is never the end. Why is
Stanley stood for a long time in one spot. It's part of a game. He likes to see how long he can go without dying. So far, he's doing excellent. And if he just stays right where he is, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
My I don't know about Stanley, but my curiosity is too peaked to just stand here and do absolutely nothing. So, I'm gonna continue this in another episode at some point. I don't know when, but I will. So, okay then. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little playthrough of mine. And as usual, until the next video, guys, check you laters.